Hey guys, it's Jo Carter here. Welcome back to my channel. It is Tuesday morning and it has nearly been a whole week since I should have been doing a reading vlog. I just have not been reading at all, well, a little bit over this past week. I have read about less than 40 pages of The Girl Who Plays with Fire by Larsen. Nothing much has happened at all, so I feel like I didn't really have anything to talk about. I'm just ironing my clothes obviously this morning. I have had a pretty busy weekend and I haven't even filmed a video yet. I missed my video on the weekend because I was trying to put out 2 videos a week, but I seem to be faltering with that at the moment, and I might instead just try and put out 1 video once a week. But even that, like, if I don't put a video out tonight, then I'm not going to do it. So I have to film one this Sabo, and I don't know whether I'm going to prioritize it. All I could really still say about The Girl Who Played with Fire so far, the story still feels meandering, like we're not really going anywhere. Again, still agree that if you're not a big fan of Elizabeth, this would be super boring for you at the moment. And then obviously, even though I'm a fan of Elizabeth, it is kind of dragging a bit now for me. I really enjoyed the bit at the start about her, but now I'm kind of like, hurry up. And all this sort of setup for the plot, like I can kind of imagine what's going to happen. Not really, I still can't really imagine what exactly is going to happen, but I know what the topic is going to be about. But all this setup that we're doing, I feel like it should have taken place 100 pages earlier or like 130 pages earlier, because now that we've spent so long setting up Lisbeth's life, and to not get into the thicker things is unfortunately, like, I think pretty detrimental to the book and the pacing, and one of the reasons why I am not prioritizing it amongst everything else in my life. So why have I been so busy? If you care to have a personal life update, I last talked to you guys, I ended the vlog, I think it was on a Tuesday. So Wednesday I edited the video and got it up, I think. Daniel had the week off last week, so I was just spending a lot of time with him and not reading, and we went out for dinner with his family Thursday night, and then Friday afternoon I got an expensive delivery, so we decided to purchase a Thermomix because I've tried, not very hard, but I've tried and I am not good at cooking, and this, like, why not make your life easier, honestly? And I'm really enjoying it. So we had like that whole introduction, this is how you use it, blah blah blah, on Friday. Then Saturday morning I had my first dress fitting / alteration for the wedding, and that was really exciting. The lady's going to update my dress. She could pretty much do all of my ideas, and all of my ideas panned out in person, which doesn't always happen because what I think looks good in here doesn't always look good out there. But I'm so excited, and it's going to look like, I loved it anyways because it has so much gorgeous detailing on it, but it's really going to update like the neckline and the shoulders because they were a bit clunky and old-fashioned and didn't really suit like my body. So I'm really excited because now they're going to. And then I had like a cold nap for 4 hours on Saturday. I've been kind of going to bed late and then it catches up with me on the weekend, and because I can have a nap, I have been, so that's kind of when I would have sat down and read or filmed a video, I had a nap. And Saturday night we went out with some friends for my friend Chelsea's birthday, and then Sunday was Father's Day for us Australians, and after seeing my dad and my grandpa and grandma and mum and sister for lunch, Daniel and I then drove around and looked at some ceremony locations. And that was a whole lot of fun, but it was also really tiring. And the first sort of town, we were just doing like the towns in our area that are like about 20 minutes apart. And the first town that we went to where we had lunch, that's where I kind of pictured it. But because the places that I had in mind didn't really look how we wanted them to, I was feeling like really downhearted. But then Daniel took me to a place in the town that we actually live, and it's really gorgeous. So we're going to be getting married by a lagoon on some nice grass under some pretty trees. So I'm really excited about that. And then came home, had another nap. Went and saw Daniel's parents for dinner for his dad's Father's Day. So it's been busy. I have been sanding back some chairs. I started doing that again on Monday because I don't tend to do it when Daniel has time off so I can spend time with him, but he has gone back to his busy hours and I've gone and done that. But I have been listening to Voyager. Not a lot, but I've listened to 10 hours. I think the last time I updated you guys it was 6. So that's 4 extra hours in there, which is really strange for an audiobook because I'm still like, they can be a bit hit and miss for me, but I'm really enjoying it. I still feel like Diana Gabaldon writes more than probably she needs to, but I also feel like that's part of the reason why her books are so epic and give you like the emotions of how hard life can be and how long and how tragic it can be. So I'm finding it interesting, even if critically I think that it's gone on a bit long. Also, side note, why does everybody love Jamie? Nearly everybody he meets, some kind of thing happens where someone loves him and that is like an issue for the story. So I feel like that's one of the only ways that she adds in tension. And the only other quick update to give you guys, because I finished ironing and I have to get ready quickly, is that I purchased a new book, but I've already read this one before. This is The Force of Nature by Jane Harper. I found this one at the op shop for, it was actually half price on books, so normally $1, it was only 50 cents. Wow. I read this one last year, I think, but I actually got it through this program called like Wandering Books, and each of these books have got like a sticker and a serial number, and they kind of like travel the globe and it gets tracked online if the person tracks them. So I read this, really enjoyed it, but then I had to send it back out into the world, and I always wanted to pick up something else by Jane Harper and probably reread this one, so when I saw it, I got it. So it's nice to be adding to my collection. But I have to go because I really need to get ready, otherwise I'm going to be late for work. And I will, did I tell you guys it's Tuesday? I think so. I will hopefully update you a bit more regularly throughout this week, since it's probably only going to be like a week reading vlog now instead of a fortnight because I missed like a whole week. What have you guys been up to? I'll catch you in the next clip. Bye.
Hey everybody, it's Thursday. I'm here with my sister Steph. Hi. We're just doing our faces because we're going to film a video together where Steph's going to pick the next couple of books that I'm going to read. So
my room is so messy.
It's okay. And I've just decided to DNF a book today, so that's why I wanted to do this and I convinced her to. So yay, I'm going to be reading something fun.
Good morning. How are you guys? I have to be really quick because it is Friday morning and there are roadworks on the way to work, so I have to get ready quickly, but I just wanted to film this segment. My last update, I was a bit quick in explaining that I decided to DNF The Girl Who Played with Fire. I can't stand very close to this because I'm near the wall. But I decided to DNF The Girl Who Played with Fire, even though I really enjoy Zelander, Lisbeth's character. It was kind of frustrating me that we got to page 180 and the story hadn't even really begun. On the back of the book, there's like the expose, the murder, the girl who played with fire. This whole part, the murder, which is probably like what the plot is going to be about, that still hasn't happened yet. Like, we're at page 180 and the murder that Lisbeth gets framed for hasn't even happened. And that just tells me that if there is nothing else super exciting to put on the back of the book, to explain what happens in the 180 pages or to hook you, there is too much setup. And unfortunately, because I was feeling a bit this way with the first book, though not as bad, I just don't have it in me to slug through the rest of the series and to slug through this book. Which is disappointing because I really like Lisbeth, but it's just not for me and I just don't want to put the time into it. This series was also a bit of a weight hanging over my shoulders in trying to get my TBR down to 0 because it was a 6-book series and I was only up to book 1. And as I was doing my calculations as to how many books I currently have on my TBR and how long that would take me to read them, I don't have the majority of this series included in it because I haven't purchased them yet. So I was already feeling a little bit of pressure to get my TBR done, hopefully by June next year. Even though it's pressure that's put on by myself, it was still like, I don't want to add it for something like this. Sadly, DNF and DNF the series. So I took the last book that I did own off my TBR. I think my TBR is down to 24 now because I started reading Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan, which was picked to me by my sister. But I'm going to find a pretty whiteboard marker and cross out. First, what I haven't crossed out before is a book here called Dead Rage by Nicholas Ryan. I decided to unhaul that in an unhaul that I'll post up above if I remember, so I'll get rid of that. And then I can cross off the second Black Magician, actually, the novice, because I read that. And then of my other reading list for this year, I'll cross off the entire Millennium series. Okay, great. So that only leaves part 2 of book 3 of A Storm and Swords, the 8th book by the Victorian Education Department, and the Black Magician book 3 by Trudy Canavan. So that is exciting. I'm pretty happy with this list now. It kind of takes off the pressure for the rest of the year. That's not my TBR, that's just my reading list. And it was books that I'd strategically set out so that I would be able to read them and read my entire TBR because I don't like reading books in a series. I'm excited for my reading. I'll catch up with you guys again, hopefully having read a lot of Crazy Rich Asians because I have been anticipating this and I hope it's going to be a wonderful romance that I'm going to give 5 stars to. Happy Friday, guys. Bye. Hey everybody, it's Thursday. I really need to end this vlog, but I haven't, I feel like there's going to be few and far between updates, but I just wanted to check in. I haven't really been reading that much. I have been reading for like 5 or 10 minutes in the mornings, and that's it. I haven't been reading on the weekend. I kind of have like 2 reasons why I think that. I mean, one is that I'm still in the setup stages of Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. We're sort of like setting the scene at the moment for the different families and just how richy poo they are and their attitudes and stuff like that. And I think it's going to be helpful because I'm gathering that there's going to be a lot of people that we're going to be meeting at this wedding. But it's just making for, it's not boring when I'm reading it, but I'm not, like, every like chapter, because we're meeting a different family, is like its own self-contained story. I don't get to the end of the chapter and be like, oh, what's gonna happen, dun dun dun, I'm gonna keep reading. It's really self-contained, so that doesn't really make me prioritize reading, so I haven't really been doing that. I have been prioritizing other things, like, so I go to work. I get up at, it should be 6:30, but generally it's been like 6:45, and today it was actually 7. And I then sit on the couch until like 7:15. And in the past, I wouldn't actually touch my laptop at all whatsoever. And in the past, I mean like a year ago, and that wasn't mattering so much when I was actually getting up at 6:30 or 6:20. But lately I've been getting up so late and then not cutting into my internet time, so I really want to be disciplined, and I did that this morning because I got up at 7 and I'm like, you can't fit everything in, but I want to do that anyways. So I put my laptop up on the kitchen bench and I sit on the couch, so I'm gonna hopefully do that because there is no good reason for me to go on Facebook in the morning other than just to feed my social media addiction. So, but then I go to work and get ready from like 7:30 to 8, go to work, drive in the car for half an hour, talk to myself instead of listening to an audiobook because I enjoy the relaxation. And then I'm at work. In my lunch break, I go for a walk because I sit down all day, and sometimes I listen to an audiobook, sometimes not. Then I come home, and I'm home at like 5 or 5:15, depending on how the day went. And I've been going and sanding chairs then, and then having a shower at 7, then starting dinner after that, which normally means that after I've had dinner and finished watching a TV show, it's like 8 o'clock and I could read, but I kind of want to do something else and then read, but sort of by that point when I want to read later, I mean, I haven't even been attempting that. I've been going to bed really bad times, which is part of what I have to do to get better, because I really want to, like, I don't want to stop standing about the chairs, and I feel like because I'm doing extra physical activity, it's kind of making me tired. but I'm also not sleeping on time. I know my optimum sleep is 10 o'clock, and I'm really trying, just for like general health, to not have as many coffees and not depend on as many coffees. And I only have 2, but it's still not like, I know that I can go to bed at 10 o'clock. So why not? And if I was to look at my roadmap out of not reading, that really makes me sound like that's what the Victorian Premier. So that's one of our states in Australia, Victoria, and it was the one that was hit with a really bad really bad in comparison to our country, not the rest of the world, not like America. I feel for you guys so much, but he always says like the roadmap out of restrictions. I don't want to be like this all the time. I don't want to not have time for reading, and I don't want to not do the chairs, and I don't want to not make dinner. So I feel like the key to all of this stuff is making sure that I get enough sleep, because then even on the weekend I'm so exhausted that like Friday nights, if I don't have anything on, I go to bed at, I think last weekend it was literally like 9:30 because I was so tired, and because I have like this tendency where I actually want to stay up during the week because I'm like, no, I have to work tomorrow, sad face. So I push myself to stay up, and as we can see, that kind of has disastrous effects. I sleep in Saturday morning until like 10 o'clock, and then these past 2 weekends I've gone and done, like I've gone out, but I haven't, like not at night, I've gone out shopping or to my dress fitting, and then I've come home and had like a 4-hour nap, which that is my body trying to catch up on sleep. It's not like, so something is wrong there. Not when I sleep in until like, and I used to have naps on the weekend. Like I come from a family that likes to have naps, that gets tired more easily. But if I'm going to bed on time, I should only need to nap for like 20 minutes and then I'm good to go again. Whereas I've been like conking out hard 4 hours. So playing nap roulette, where you don't put a timer on it, you just sleep for how long you need to sleep for. So I'm not doing stuff on the weekend, and chores bank up during the week because I'm so tired that I can't do the little things every day that, you know, gives you a life back on the weekend, and so you don't have to do like work for the whole weekend. And I'm like whining to you guys, and people that are listening might have like children and like still work full time, or like just have a whole big, even having children and being a stay-at-home mum. But these are, I guess, the kind of lessons that I need to learn now about how to prioritize so that I don't, and how to go to bed on time. And I'm pretty, like, I seem to go through stages where there is good Joe and bad Joe. I don't really want to call her bad Joe, but, and I, you know, I was okay. I was sort of accepting at work that I would go to bed late and have just be a 2 coffee per day kind of person. So I have one in the morning, which I don't think, based on the time that I get up in the morning, I don't think that is ever going to change. But I then never used to be like this, but lately I've been having a coffee at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon at work because I'm tired, and, you know, obviously I need to keep working during the day. But I don't want to, like, it started to become a massive habit, and I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be something that I have to do. These energy bites are great, by the way. I made these in my Thermomix, and they're like a whole bunch of nuts and seeds and dates and cocoa powder and stuff. And literally, I can have like one, just like that big and pretty thin, and it will last me the whole morning. Whereas I have like the other rubbish muesli bars that are full of sugar and not filling. And I'm hungry again, so they're fantastic. But I just want to get all my shit organised so that eventually, when we do have kids, and however many years that will be, I'm not like, I'm sure there will still be a period of holy shit, how do I manage? But like, I don't know, I'm not even kind of coping at the moment. And I feel like in the past, if I was tired and exhausted from work, and I could kind of, like, Daniel was always here to help. There's probably a little bit less work now that he's not here, but just having to be like responsible for dinner each night. I'm trying to organise stuff that I can cook, that I can freeze. So I'm going to be making like these salmon patties on the weekend. And it's a different experience having to do all the housework yourself. And then sometimes there's sort of more dishes, because my sister's living with us and we kind of just do the dishes when we sort of both need to. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Everybody has the same issues, and this is obviously turned into less of a reading vlog and more of a like, this is why I haven't been reading vlog. But I don't know. Are you guys going through the same things? I have been listening to Voyager still, and I'm still enjoying it. It feels good to tell you guys this, and I feel like I haven't actually thought about a roadmap out of this until I started talking. I'm enjoying Voyager because we're at a part where all the stuff on the back of the blurb has happened now, and I'm really curious to see where it might lead. Now, I don't know what the rest of the story is going to be about, but I've really enjoyed getting up to this part of the blurb from before, so it's good. Gabaldon is making me feel all the emotions, and she is really talented when there's a plot, so I really hope the rest of the book has a plot. I'm enjoying it, but I've got to go because
You get him. You get him. Wait, who's he doing? What's he doing? Speak. Speak. You get him. Come on, get him. Speak. Speak. You get him.